Welcome to episode 2 of Nicolas Cage. Hello, Nick.
Hello.
Now, I'm super excited to get into this one, so let's just get going. Now, the movie we're going to watch today is Simon West's directorial debut. West has gone on to do The Expendables 2, The Mechanic, a bunch of action movies. But in this movie, he was handed an all-star cast of Nicolas Cage, John Cusack, John Malkovich, Dave Chappelle. If you haven't guessed it by the cast, the movie we're watching today is a 1997 film, Con Air. Now, as I've mentioned previously, this movie was released in June of 97, so this is the same month Nicolas Cage did Face Off, which is episode 1 of this series. So watch it with that in mind. Face Off with its weird plot, and Con Air with its overly simple plot. So in our opening scene, Cameron Poe, played by Nick Cage, comes home from deployment to see his wife, Trisha.
You might need a little help escorting your old lady home.
Some random jerks at the bar decide to start a fight for no reason. But don't worry, his military combat expertise kicks in, and he willingly surrounds himself. A beating ensues until a man pulls a knife, and we get the nose bone driven up into the brain. The ultimate way to kill somebody, according to a 7-year-old.
Cameron Poe.
And they throw the book at Cameron Poe. They also give him a harsher sentence because he's military trained, saying his body is a deadly weapon. And that's just not how our legal system works, but moving on. And during our opening credits, we get a back and forth of letter writing with him and his daughter.
Dear Casey.
Dear Daddy.
Dear Casey.
We're introduced to his friend, Baby O, played by Mykelti Williamson. Now, I've already told you this film has Dave Chappelle in it, but an interesting tidbit between Dave Chappelle and Mykelti is the movie Forrest Gump. As you know, Mykelti plays Bubba in Forrest Gump, but originally Dave Chappelle was offered the role of Bubba and turned it down for some reason. Mykelti was then offered the role of Bubba and is in the movie, as you know. But this film reunited the two actors, which is kind of cool. So Poe has completed his sentence and he's heading home. Baby O is being transferred to another prison for some reason, and they are put on the Jailbird, a plane that our prison system uses to fly prisoners back and forth across the country. One of my only gripes about this movie is that every character only has one note. Baby O's is,
They didn't give me my shot last night.
And Cameron Poe's is,
It's my daughter's birthday.
I'll point out a few other characters' single notes as they're introduced, but it just shows that the character development could have been fleshed out a little bit better. We're introduced to Vince Larkin, played by John Cusack. His job is to make the flights go smoothly. For some reason, Cusack hated this movie and refused to even do interviews after it aired. Not sure why I felt the need to tell you that, but now you know too. So the DEA decides to meddle in this flight. They want information out of an inmate and feel this is their best way to go about that. Larkin says fine, but he can't have a gun, for obvious reasons.
We got rules, gentlemen.
We're now introduced to our cast of criminals, Billy Bedlam, Diamond Dog, and the notorious Cyrus the Virus.
Now look at this walking penis.
Oh, and Pinball. So the DEA decides to give their agent a gun anyways, and we learn the rules of the plane.
You'll keep your hands to yourself, you keep the decibel level down.
One guy doesn't understand the rules.
Gag and bag this Nazi muffin.
We get the world's best insult.
For me, you're somewhere between a cockroach and that white stuff that accumulates at the corner of your mouth when you're really thirsty.
At least he can entertain himself, because there's no in-flight movie.
Funny fucker, aren't you?
And then we learn all these criminals planned something out together, and they all reveal their ways of escaping. And give Pinball points and creativity, even if it's horribly brutal.
The last Mohican is burning, man!
But the plan works flawlessly. All the prisoners get out. Did we mention Baby O's diabetic?
Hey, man, get off my instrument!
And we welcome our new captain.
Welcome to Con Air.
We get the old, oops, accidentally hit the alarm, everything's fine.
Pilot just checked in, everything's fine.
They know the plane's next stop is in Carson City, where 6 criminals are supposed to get off and 10 new ones are supposed to get picked up. So as to not raise suspicion, they do their best to achieve this. Meanwhile, this guy tries to get a drop on him 30 minutes too late. He's like, now's my chance. There's only 40 of them. I could take them.
Who the fuck are you? Yeah, that's the fuck I am.
And they go, okay, you're dead now. Thanks for outing yourself. Pinball tracks down the 6 people who are supposed to get off in Carson City.
Bad news is this dead fella right here happens to be Benson. This Aryan fella with the bullet hole in his forehead is Carl's, and this honky he's dragging in is Popovich.
So they need 3 people to replace these dead guys. Our guys volunteer, but because the dead guys were white, Baby O can't be one of them.
If I don't get my shot in the next couple of hours, somebody gonna be sending flowers to my mother.
Did we mention Baby O has diabetes?
Hey, don't make fun of my diabetes. Don't make fun of my diabetes. I'm Scott Malkinson.
So Poe decides he's going to volunteer, and when he gets off, he's going to scream for help. Cyrus is smart, so he's like, gag and bag, everybody. And Poe's like, I want to hang out with you guys, change my mind. But Poe finds a tape recorder on the dead agent and puts it on one of the fake prisoners to hopefully tip the police off as to what's happening. Their horrible plan goes off without a hitch because there's a sandstorm in Carson City and nobody can tell who anybody else is anyways. We pick up a handful of prisoners, including Steve Buscemi, who by the looks of it got arrested at Comic-Con.
That skinny little man butchers 30-something people up and down the eastern seaboard.
You merely adopted the dark. I was born in it, molded by it.
We cut back to the prison that Cyrus the Virus was at, and I'm not going to think too much into this. We're made to believe he's super smart, can plan this whole airplane heist, but leaves all of his notes and plans? John Cusack says, don't touch anything.
Don't touch anything.
This guy touches something. And we cut back to Con Air, where one of the prisoners is conveniently a pilot. Chappelle goes and hides the transponder in another plane so that they can't be tracked anymore. The guards learned that the plane was taken over. This poor guy is sent to stall them, and that goes about as well as you'd expect. Pinball doesn't show up to the airport 2 hours before his flight, so he gets left behind. Cyrus shares a song. Oh, that's a tongue twister. Cyrus shares a song. Cyrus shares a song. Cyrus shares a song from his new musical.
Oh, nothing makes me sadder than the agent lost his bladder in the airplane.
It receives mixed reviews, and Poe goes to check out why the landing gear is stuck. And we find what happened to Pinball and his very clean teeth. Kudos to you, Pinball. Poe takes the opportunity to write a quick distress note, and then one of the funniest things in this whole movie takes place.
Oh, boy. You see that?
Cut to Detective Larkin talking to Poe's family, explaining to them what's going on. And Larkin learns about Pinball's body, and that his name is written all over it.
Your name written all over it.
Larkin then proves he doesn't know which state is which.
Transponder tag was in Arizona.
That's California.
Body falls here in Fresno.
But nonetheless learns where they're going. And steals a car to get there. And back in the skybox, Billy learns Poe's been lying. And they proceed to fight, or spoon, or something. And Billy gets killed. The DEA learn the transponder is put in another plane.
That aircraft's carrying 30 prisoners, and I'm Elvis Presley.
Hi. Back on the plane, we get some more character development.
It's my daughter's birthday today.
They didn't give me my shot last night.
Or not. And when they go to land, they almost hit this guy's plane, and we learn quickly what his IQ level is.
Stupid sons of bitches! Jesus Christ!
And we get some amazing improv from John Malkovich.
It's not difficult to surmise how Nathan here feels about killing guards, and my own proclivities are well-known and often lamented facts of penal lore.
And some not-so-amazing improv from Nicolas Cage.
Cyrus, this is your barbecue, man, and it tastes good.
Just kidding. You know I love you. We get the creepiest, intensest tea party I've ever seen, and we get some more plot development. Seriously. So the reason they came to this airport particularly is because one of the criminals has ties to some Colombian drug lords. And they basically paid these guys to bring them a jet so they can escape and be free. Poe and Larkin meet.
You're Cameron Poe. I'm Larkin.
And we cut back to Egypt? What the hell?
Are you sick?
No, that's just the way Steve Buscemi looks.
He's got the whole world.
Oh, please don't kill this girl.
The whole wide world.
This guy double-crosses Cyrus. I'm sure that'll play out fine. But nobody in this movie seems to understand how planes work.
Anara.
And we go over the plan on how to fight the highly trained military force coming to get them.
What's that?
That's a rock.
Okay.
Hey, there's no such thing as a stupid question. Buscemi, I swear to God. Oh, I forgot he had diabetes. You know, a glass of orange juice probably would have done the trick too, but... So our highly trained military force drives straight down this alley of wreckage. Years of training finally paying off. Now imagine how you think this is going to play out. Yep, that's exactly what happens. There are rules in these movies, Steve. No kids, no dogs. We've been over this. So the cons escape with the Weasleys in hot pursuit. No? Harry Potter? Flying car? No? Okay.
He's alive, everybody! Oh, fuck!
So enough weird stuff keeps happening that Cyrus is convinced there's a traitor. Baby O says it's him. Isn't that clever?
No, that's clever!
My birthday is July
July 14th.
And then we get what I think is Nicolas Cage's most badass scene he's ever done. I'm just going to let this play.
All I can think about is like, there ain't no God. Like, he don't exist.
I'm gonna show you God does exist.
Freeze, little big boy!
How freaking cool is that? Mick, do something weird so we can think you're a goof again, please. Thank you. So Poe takes control of the plane and says, land it now. The guy's like, yeah, we're in the process of doing that. Only...
The word is crash.
And a fun bit of trivia, these scenes were all filmed at the Sands Hotel prior to it being demolished in '96. When the production team heard about the city's intention to destroy the landmark, they scheduled some time at the casino to do some filming and stuff and kind of take advantage of the event. So all the good guys live, and a wild Australian Diglett appears. So Cyrus goes to escape with some of his boys, and an ex-convict steals a police motorcycle, and it's fine for some reason. They get into a fight. Cyrus gets handcuffed to a ladder, flies through a bridge on the Vegas Strip, discovers the secret of teleportation, and lands on the set of Terminator Salvation. Our majestic angel flies away, and someone's totally gonna get fired for leaving this machine on. Last bit of trivia, this song, How Do I Live, was nominated for both an Oscar as Best Original Song and a Razzie as Worst Original Song, and didn't win either award. So do with that what you will.
Well, does he?
And then the movie wants us to feel happy that this guy escapes. This guy who's killed like 30 people, including children, and even to Cyrus was the worst of the worst of them. But yeah, I'm glad to know he's on the street, so that's a weird note to end on. And that was Con Air. Now there are 3 movies in Nicolas Cage's kind of trifecta of perfection. One is Face Off, one is Con Air, and the third one is...
I take pleasure in gutting you, boy. I'll take pleasure in gutting you, boy.
The Rock with Sean Connery. And that's what we're going to be talking about next time on Nicolas Uncaged. Now don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, do whatever you have to do. And as always, stay happy, stay healthy.